Hey everybody, this is LadyJ. Welcome to What Up Baltimore. Make sure that you start sharing. Let everybody know that we're on. We have a beautiful sister on today. I can't wait to bring her up on the screen. She's running for office. And we got to celebrate our sisters. We got to celebrate our people. So we're going to bring Miss Latoya up in just a minute. But I want you to take a moment, sit back, relax, get your phones. In case you have any questions, you can feel free to, as you know, comment. It's an open forum. So definitely feel free to comment. Feel free to call in. The number is on the screen. And we just invite you to join us. It's going to be a great show. I'm looking forward to this. And I'm loving the music. So relaxing. All right, everybody. I just wanted you to get the vibe of the music. Just kind of relax. It's raining. Well, at least it's raining here in Baltimore. So I'm kind of in chill mode right now. But tonight we have a guest. Her name is Latoya. I'm going to try to pronounce his name. I hope I say it right. Latoya Nkongolo, right? Wrong?
Well, the N is silent, but you were almost there. You've come closer than most people have. It's
Oh my
Congolo.
goodness. What is it?
Congolo. The
Oh,
N is silent.
Congolo. Okay. Congolo. Got it.
Yeah.
All right. So everybody, listen. This is Miss Latoya, and I'm so happy to have her on tonight. I met her a while back. Latoya, you know what? I forgot to send you the link for if you want to send it out for people to watch you. They can actually go to
Okay.
our YouTube channel. I forgot to send that to you, but I just sent it. But anyway, everybody, we have Latoya on today, and I hope that you all tune in because remember, we always want to be informed voters, and we want to make sure that the person that we vote for is the person that should be in that seat. So Monday nights, if any of you are new on any of our social media pages or new to the radio station, Monday night is the night that we bring politicians on, and this has been going on for about 3 years now. But we bring politicians on and we allow them to speak and tell us exactly what they're running for and why. And you get a chance to ask questions and call in. So the call-in number is on the screen. It's 443-297-4753. So let's get started. So Latoya, thank you so much. This is your first time on What Up Baltimore. Thank you for coming on. And I always say to everyone, when they come on this show, it's really not for the faint of heart. Now, the past few weeks, people have been really nice. But this is a show where people they have questions, and they ask and they call in and they write. So I used to do it for an hour. Now I'm only doing it for a half hour. But thank you for coming on. Tell us a little bit about you and what you're running for.
Well, I first want to thank you for having me, and I appreciate the opportunity to share my platform. So I'm running for the Maryland House of Delegates for District 31. So the maps haven't been confirmed yet, but District 31 covers primarily Severna Park, Pasadena, and Glen Burnie. And yeah, so this is my first time throwing my name in the hat, and I'm excited to represent Anne Arundel County in the House
And
of Delegates.
yeah, I always have to ask because I know you're married, you have a family, and you're a smart woman. You have your business. We're going to get to that in a minute. But what in the world made you want to run? Hey, Thomas, how are you? Haven't heard from you in a while. What in the world made you want to run for office?
Ooh, that's a great question, and I get that question all the time. So, just as you said, I have a outpatient mental health practice
Mm-hmm.
that I co-own with my husband, and we'll be celebrating 6 years in August. But really, it boiled down to just hearing the concerns and the frustrations of my clients
Okay.
over the past 6 years, and just 6 days a week doing therapy, and just hearing how politics and the government had pretty much exacerbated the depression, the anxiety, everything that I'm trying to help people overcome and cope with. It just seemed like the government was exacerbating those problems. And I
Okay.
just said, you know what, since I have all of this information, I have a pulse on the community, I know what people want and what they're frustrated about. And I can use this as an opportunity to represent our constituents in the House of Delegates and be a voice for the people.
Wow. That is, I have to say, that's commendable. And a lot of politicians that I've talked to over the years, they say the same thing that sometimes they feel like they know what we talk about change and we talk about what we want and we're just talking. And so some people now, so a lot of the politicians I'm talking to, they're like, I'm tired of talking. So
Right.
if nobody's doing it, I'm going to throw my hat into the race and I'm going to give it a try. So I really think it's commendable because I've been asked at least 3 times to run. I'm not running anywhere but down the steps,
Are
and that's it. Okay, to get into
you
the car.
sure?
I am positive. I've been approached at least 3 times this year. I think it's an
Wow.
honor.
Mhm.
It's an honor, but no, not for me. So I just commend anybody who, and I'm not married, and my son is an adult, so it's probably the perfect opportunity. But no, but I commend you for doing that. And I see you out there. I see your social media pages and you are out there like really getting it done. So what is it like now that you're actually in the race?
Mhm. Wow. Well, I mean, it's a full time job, but I'll say that the family, we had a lengthy conversation, and we talked about what this race means and why it's important, and
Hmm.
the support that I'll need along the way. And I'll
Okay.
say that if it weren't for my husband and kids, I wouldn't be doing this. I mean,
Wow.
I'm a Christian woman, I'm a godly woman, and the Bible says charity starts at home, and
Right.
my
Right.
priority is home. And if my husband and children weren't on board, I wouldn't do it. But
Okay.
they've embraced it, they've supported it, they push me every day. And I thank God that I have their support because they see the vision, they see the mission, and it's bigger than me and what I bring to the table. It really is about our community, and our
Yeah.
family is very community oriented. So it was a no brainer for us to support this mission and pursue the seat.
Wow, that's awesome. And shout out to your husband. I see the pictures with him out there with you also. And it makes a difference. It makes a difference to have your family and your spouse involved because like you said, it would be really hard to do. And you're a woman of God. So if home is not taken care of, you can't take care of anything else. But y'all,
That's
that's
right.
just a side note I just wanted to put in there.
That's
Because
right.
some of y'all need to go home and take care of home first, and then run the race. Okay,
That's right.
and you
Charity
heard that
starts at
from
home.
me. Yeah, go take care of home first, and then come out and try to run the race. Because otherwise,
Amen.
it's not going to work.
That's
So,
right.
tell us about what you do, though, because I love what you do. Your career.
hmm Yep. So I'm a licensed clinical social worker, so a licensed mental health therapist, as well as a licensed clinical drug and alcohol counselor. So
Wow.
I primarily treat substance use disorders, mental health disorders, mostly depression and anxiety. And I consider depression and anxiety the cough and cold of mental health. We all get depressed,
Yes.
we all get anxious.
Right.
And
Right.
I my focus really is to empower people
Hmm.
to help them understand that they don't have to be victims to their circumstances. They don't have to be victims of their feelings, and
Right.
really to
Right.
empower them to help them overcome those feelings, thoughts that drive the depression and anxiety, and also
Hmm.
helping people recover from substance use disorders. These are the number one diseases in families, but
Hmm.
because they're so stigmatized, a lot of people often don't want to talk about it because it's embarrassing. There's a lot of shame and judgment that comes along with acknowledging that your family struggles with mental health and substance use disorders. So my job is to really help people overcome it, but also overcoming that stigma, shame, and embarrassment.
Yes, yes, because I work in the mental health field as well,
Oh, I
and
didn't know that.
yeah, I got my doctorate. I think when we met up, I was still in school.
You're working on
So
it.
yeah, I got my doctorate, and I was studying mental health in the church and in the community. So,
Wow.
it's like it's really sad because I feel like as a community, city, we don't they just don't talk about it like they should, and it doesn't seem like there's a lot of resources, that people can actually turn to, and it's something that still seems like it's a little taboo to talk about, and it's like it's real. Everybody's experiencing different waves of mental illness. And so, that's why I said I'm really happy that you're in that field. And I think it's good also with you running for office and being in that field because you bring a different level of information to your office. Those are things that you can share because it's something that you actually do. So that's good. Now, can you tell us, because I'm in Baltimore, can you tell us about some of the things that are going on in the area that you're running on? For example, in Baltimore, the big issue here, I'm sure everybody knows, is crime. So,
Mhm.
what is one of the major issues where you live at?
Well, I can tell you that when I first launched my campaign, my priority issues were increased access to mental health and substance use
Hmm.
treatment, as well as small businesses, building our economy, reducing taxes for our retirees, and also just being able to provide quality education for our children. I
Okay.
think that those issues are still issues that relate to Baltimore. I think Baltimore City has the same issues and maybe
Hmm.
even more. But what I'll say is that what we're seeing in Anne Arundel County are pretty much issues that are seeping into our county from Baltimore City. And I'll
Okay.
I'll give you an example. We had I came across squeegee kids, squeegee boys in Anne Arundel County. That was a
Wow.
Baltimore City thing, but we're
Hmm.
starting to see that crime, some of those activities that have seeped into Anne Arundel County from Baltimore City. But what I'll say is that that was what I initially ran on, and I'm still sticking to those priority issues because I still believe that they are priorities. However, in door knocking, talking to constituents, people are concerned about, the obviously crime, but also illegal immigration.
Hmm.
Protecting the Second Amendment. Those are a lot of the issues that I'm hearing, as well as education, particularly the critical race theory
Hmm.
curriculum that people fear will eventually be a part of our students' education. So
Right.
those are the issues that I'm hearing more about as I door knock and meet with constituents.
And the so I forgot to ask you too. You are Republican, right?
I am. I
You're
am a
Republican.
Republican.
So,
Yes.
there's this thing about black women or black people, period, being Republican. Do you get that a lot where people question or ask you why you chose to be a Republican?
I do. And, what I tell people is that, when I was growing up, we were told to be two things, to be Christian and Democrat.
Mhm.
Okay. So that was what I was always told. So I was always conservative, not
Mhm.
necessarily Republican, because that wasn't part of my upbringing. And
Right.
um, so as I got older, as I started to understand the world a little bit better, I realized that there were some conflicts there between
Mhm.
being a conservative and being a Democrat. And, for me, I align more with Christian conservative values. That is who I am. That is how I was raised. And it just did not jive with me to be a Democrat. And, that was my upbringing. But then as I got older and when I went to school for social work, I studied social welfare and social policy,
Mhm.
which then gave me more insight into how the Democrat policies affected our households, our families, our businesses. And I said, you know what? This honestly is a big part of the reason why our communities are deteriorating, because of the fact that we have policies that have separated fathers from their homes, where we had become more dependent on the government.
Mhm.
For me, I grew up in government housing. I grew up with a single teenage mother. And growing up in government housing, there were so many restrictions and limitations on how many bedrooms we can have, what we can have, how, we can't paint our rooms certain colors. We couldn't
Mhm.
have pets. I mean, there were so many restrictions. And then I learned at a young age that if we don't limit government, government will limit us. And I
Mhm.
hated feeling limited. I didn't feel a level of freedom until I left the government housing and went off to college, packed my car and went off to college at 18. That was the
Right.
last time that I lived in government housing, that I required that I had relied on any sort of government dependence in terms of housing and food and the basic necessities.
Mhm.
And,
Mhm.
honestly, for me, being a Republican gives me a sense of freedom. It gives me a sense of freedom to be a Christian, to be a hardworking American, where I take personal responsibility for all of my actions, where I've raised my family and I want safe communities. And being a Republican to me equates to freedom.
Wow. You really said a mouthful. You really have. And I was asking you that question because I get a lot of Republicans on the show. Hey James, how are you? I get a lot of Republicans on the show. And that's why I try to always start off the show saying this show sometimes can be a little brutal and a little rough because a lot of people don't take too kindly to African Americans being Republican. They equate, um, being Republican with Trump, with people not really getting the resources that they need. And so I heard what you were saying, and I hear that a lot on the Republican side. What they're saying is that the Democrats really are not giving you the best that they can give you. They're really not doing their job. Um, let's see, what is Van saying? Van says, well, she says, well, when it's your time,
Your time is
it's
yours.
yours. Okay.
Yes, man, it's my
All right.
time.
So, and we applaud you. I feel like this, whatever party you choose to be in, I just feel like it's up to us to make sure that we're doing the right thing. What are we standing for in the party? Because we can talk about Trump, we can talk about Obama, we can talk about Biden, but what are we doing in the party ourselves? Whether
That's right.
even guys, if you're Democrat, independent, you're in the Green Party, I don't care what it is. What are you doing, and are the people around you that you're supporting, are they doing their job? Basically, are they really doing what they're supposed to do?
Mhm.
um what is James? Oh, okay, James. That was another show, James. But so Latoya, Latoya, what are some of the things that, because I know a lot of politicians, they have certain things that they really really stand on, that they push, and what are some of those things, or maybe one of those things that you have?
For me, Lady J, mental health and addictions. And the reason why I'm a staunch advocate for it is because when those issues are left untreated, they permeate every aspect of our society.
Mm-hmm.
So when I treat families, I'm dealing with grandparents who are raising their grandchildren. They wanted to retire. They didn't plan to raise the next generation of babies.
Right, right.
They're doing that because they have no choice because their adult children are either psychiatrically unstable or actively using substances. So they're forced to now raise their grandchildren. I
Mm-hmm.
talk to small business owners who can't even find employees because of the fact that their employees or the workforce is dealing with mental health and substance use
Mm-hmm.
disorders. We're losing a
Mm-hmm.
generation of employees. I mean, I can go on and on and on. I mean, think about even with our gun rights. I'm pro 2A, but the truth is that if we don't treat substance use and mental health disorders, we're going to lose our freedoms to even have guns because of the fact that the government is going to use untreated mental health and addictions as a reason for now restricting gun laws. So
Mm-hmm.
you can go down the list, but the truth is if we leave these issues untreated, we're going to see that our freedoms are going to be restricted even more.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Wow, wow. And that definitely is not good. That definitely is not good. And I know right now, one of the things that a lot has been in the news a lot is about pro-choice. Um, and I know that a lot of Republicans, even some Democrats that I talk to, they, and I forgot which state it is now, it just escaped me. I had it. The state where they say you cannot get an abortion. I forgot what state it is. It just passed where you cannot get an abortion even if you were raped.
Mhm.
What's your stance on that?
Okay, so just to be clear, I'm not pro-choice. I'm pro-life. And
Mhm.
again,
Oh, I'm
I want
sorry.
to
I meant to say pro-life. I'm sorry. Thank you. I
okay.
meant to say pro-life.
And I'll tell you why. I mean, again, I look at everything, most things, I'll say from a psychological lens.
Mm-hmm.
And in therapy, I'll tell you, in therapy, I talk to women who had an abortion 20, 30, 40 years
Mm-hmm.
ago, and they're still carrying that grief,
Mm-hmm.
that trauma of terminating that pregnancy, and they still remember the due date of that child that they
Mm-hmm.
aborted. And it adds to the trauma. I mean, think about it, especially in the black community. We can't afford to have any more trauma than we already have.
No, no.
And when I hear these stories, it breaks my heart. And it's
Mm-hmm.
like, why would we condone or endorse something that is only adding to our trauma?
Mm-hmm.
This isn't 1960s, early 1970s, before, the abortion laws became what they are. We have more contraceptives, we have more options now to be more responsible. And I'm not going to just put it all on women. I'm
Mm-hmm.
talking about men too.
Right,
We
right.
all have more. We can all be more responsible now
Mm-hmm.
and prevent pregnancy and prevent an unplanned pregnancy that's going to further add to our trauma issues. So that's the way I look at it, because these are the stories that I've heard over the years, and
Right,
it's just causing more issues in women's lives in our communities that we can't afford to have.
right, right, right. And again, it all goes back to trauma. And, I think that when we have those discussions, and I'm constantly saying it over and over, when we have those discussions, those are the things that can't be left out: the trauma, the PTSD, those psychological disorders that we don't address. We have to look at the bigger picture. So I absolutely agree with you on that one. Now, as we start to close out, I want you to really share with everyone, um, because I know to run in a race it's expensive. You need money. So do you have any events coming up that you would like to invite people to?
I do. So I have a meet and greet. It's not a fundraiser, but people can
Mm-hmm.
certainly donate. But
Mm-hmm.
it's more of a meet and greet, just to people for people to get to know me and to hear my position on certain issues and how they can support the campaign. So that's going to be Thursday, April 28th, from 12 to 2 p.m. It's lunch. Lunch is included. It's on me, and
Okay.
it's going to be at Bella Napoli in Pasadena. So that's the event that I have coming up. But if people want to stay on top of what other events we have coming up in the campaign, they can go to latoyaformaryland.com, sign up on our campaign list, contact list, and just to be able to participate in some of our volunteer activities, and also
Mm-hmm.
obviously to make a donation.
Absolutely. Do you need any workers? Like, do you need people to come out and volunteer? Do you have paid positions that
Absolutely.
are open? Um,
Absolutely. Well, paid positions. I'll say that at this moment, we are running a very fiscally conservative campaign and using our monies wisely.
right,
So
right, right.
really, it's about having people who have the passion, who want to really see change in our community, and if they're willing to donate their time, meals are included. But as far as paid positions, no. But we are looking for volunteers. We really need to hit. Our campaign is going strong. We've hit thousands of doors. We've done, a lot of media events, and we really just want to keep the momentum up. And if people are willing to donate their time, we certainly will welcome them. Oh,
Latoya, my apologies. We have
oh,
a
that's okay.
really bad storm going on right now, and it
Oh, wow.
knocked my. Sorry, guys, it knocked my internet out, and so I had to switch over to my phone. But I'm sorry. Go ahead and tell us what you were saying, because I missed part of it.
Okay, yeah, I'm not sure where we left off, but I was just saying that we definitely welcome volunteers. If anyone is willing to donate their time, they can go to www.latoyaformaryland.com and
Okay.
sign up to be on our volunteer list or on our contact list. And we really want to hit the ground running. We've launched this campaign back in September, knocked thousands of doors, and done a lot of media coverage. And we just want to keep the campaign strong. We have about 91 days until the primary election. So we want to hit as many voters as possible. So if anyone's willing to donate their time, I would greatly, greatly appreciate your volunteerism.
Absolutely. And we have I think this is a comment from Van. She said the government doesn't. Oh, sorry, guys. I'm using my phone. Please
Mhm.
forgive. She said the government doesn't want me to carry my firearm due to my job that the state of Maryland said I come from a job of seeing, saw in it cause stress, anxiety, depressed. They may that may be the truth to them, but I came from a job of people that I had to lock down. So why can't I carry my firearm? I
Right.
think I got it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I appreciate the question. Thank you, Van. And the truth is that Maryland has very restrictive gun laws, and that is again something that I would want to support. I would want to see changed in the House of Delegates, because the truth is that we do have a lot of restrictions and limitations, and you know it. I don't know your particular situation, but I do know Maryland as a whole, that we need to look at, allowing less or having less red tape around our gun laws.
Yeah. And the thing about it, I'm glad Van said something about that, because I think what's happening, and I know especially in Baltimore, people are just walking around lawlessly. They're getting guns that are not registered and using the guns. So I think something definitely has to be done about that. There has to be a change in that. Thank you, Van, for your comment. Thank you so much. And Latoya, before we go, is there anything that you want to share with the people before we leave?
Yeah, I just want to say that I've been in the community. I've always done grassroots work in the community for the past 15 years since I've pretty much lived in Maryland.
Uh-huh.
And I'm really passionate about the needs of all communities, and I want to be able to represent everyone in the House of Delegates. Very passionate, very compassionate, and I hope to have you all support. And again, if you would like to reach out or connect with me, you can go to latoyafrommaryland.com, and I'd be more than happy to work with you.
Now, and we also have a comment from James before we go. Van said, "Thank you, Gregory Woodson." He said, "Excellent show." Van said that she worked in corrections.
Mhm.
James said, "Maryland has a lot of restrictions for guns. Why are there so many killings?" I don't know if you want to answer that.
Yeah, no, I think that's a great question. Well, I'll say I started my career in corrections. I started my career in 1998. So what was that? About 24 years ago. Um, and I'll say this: I started in corrections. I worked in the Department of Social Services, Child Welfare, Substance Abuse, and the truth is that every agency I worked for, I saw the same person, just a different face, different name. People who came
Wow.
from broken homes, lived in poverty, high crime areas. And the truth is that, it's not the gun that's the problem. It's the people. It is the
Oh, yeah.
communities that we come from.
Uh-huh.
And why there are so many killings is because I think that when you're dealing with, again, the trauma, the anger, the aggression, then you're hypersensitive to conflict, and you're
Right.
going to
Right.
act out. So
Uh-huh.
we got to take the focus off of the gun and really look at the person and get to the root of the problem. And it really has a lot to do with, Van said here, peers, our communities, our environments. They really are influencing our behaviors, and those behaviors that you're seeing in our communities that are really destructive to our
Right.
society.
Right. And I always pray that it will get better, but I don't know that it will. Especially where I live at, like it's just the crime is just unbelievable. A lot of people, when we talk about living here in Baltimore and the crime, people think that we're joking, but it's very, very serious. It's a big thing, and a lot of people are resorting to um, carrying guns, killing, committing crimes because, like you said, because of their socioeconomic status, and they just don't know how to deal with it in any other way. But I really appreciate you. No, Gregory, they don't. Gregory Woodson said
Right.
criminals don't follow the laws.
Right. It's not the gun, it's the illegal activity, it's the person. And we just have to just keep that in mind.
Right.
And I lived in Baltimore City. I don't know if I mentioned that to you,
Oh no,
but
you didn't.
oh, I
No.
lived in Park Heights. Yes, I did.
Oh, okay. So you lived in the real part of the city.
Hey, Rogers Ave, right off of Pimlico. Yes, I did.
Oh my
So
goodness!
I know
Wow.
I know all too well about
Okay.
the crime in Baltimore City. And the truth is
Right.
that people focus so much on Baltimore City. Crime is everywhere.
Everywhere it is.
It's not just limited to Baltimore City.
Mm-hmm.
And people just use Baltimore City as a scapegoat. I see it here in Anne Arundel County. I've seen it in other parts of Maryland and anywhere else I've ever
Mm-hmm.
lived.
Mm-hmm.
And the truth is that we have a lot of work to do across the state, and Baltimore City and other cities included need
Mm-hmm.
help.
Okay. I think we have a caller. Let me check and make sure. Hi, do we have a? Is this a caller for the show?
Oh, wow. No, call me after the show. This is Malika.
Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you. All right.
Mhm.
That was actually another candidate calling. I thought they were calling to talk to you, but I'll call them back when I'm done. So Gregory Woodson's James said Chicago is the worst.
Yeah,
Um,
I was in
yeah,
Chicago a couple years ago. I know. I was on the South Side. I have witnessed it firsthand, and I also appreciate what Gregory said. Honestly,
yes,
I look at the fact that a lot of Baltimore City residents or people who illegally carry guns, they don't see the value because they haven't really been taught,
right,
gun safety, gun laws. And if you don't know something, then obviously you're not going to know what to do or how to follow, um,
right.
those laws. So yes, I agree with Gregory.
Yeah, yeah. And guys, we thank you so much for chiming in. This show used to be from 8 to 9 o'clock, but you guys were wearing me out. Like from 8 to 9, let me tell you, Latoya, they were going into second gear around 8:30. I mean, they were firing, at 8. I said, oh no, I can't do that. My days are too long. So I put the show back from 8 to 8:30. But I really do appreciate everybody tuning in to hear Latoya, because this is her first time running. And we want to show her some love. We want to show her some support. Now, everybody, I also want to let you know Latoya is going to be with us on Thursday, May 19th. Guys,
Mhm.
listen to this. It's been a year since I started, my own platform and not doing working for other people. So this year I decided to do a What Up Baltimore live. So on May 19th at 6 p.m. It's on a Thursday. It's going to be free to the community to come out and ask questions. It's at the Downtown Cultural Arts Center, 401 North Howard. It's a building. The building is sitting right there on the corner of Howard and Mulberry Street. You can take the train, you can take the light rail, you can take the bus. It'll put you right there. We're going to have this forum from 6 to 8:30 p.m. And you get to come out and meet Latoya. And listen, this is not limited to a certain position. I opened it up for everybody because I interview so many people. So you don't have to live in Baltimore. You can live anywhere you want. We're just coming together and you're going to be able to talk about yes, Van, it's the old library. Thank you. It was the old library. Really nice building. So I want to invite you all to come out because I'm so excited. As you know, guys, I always have these thoughts in my head. And so this year I decided that we're going to do a live event every month of this year. And the first one is the political forum. Some of the people that are going to be there, Miss Latoya, let me try your name again. Congolo?
You got it. That was perfect.
Okay. Woo, okay. The N is silent, everybody.
There you
But
go.
Latoya Nkongolo, she's going to be there. We have Chris Anderson. We have Tharu Vignaraja. We have Roya Hanna. We have
Mhm.
Tim Fazenbaker. Who else?
Mhm.
Like it's about 18 people that have
Wow.
already RSVP. Zalika Bazemore
Great
is going to
kids.
be there.
Great kids.
Um,
Mhm.
Bernie Flowers, Sheila, Jennifer, Bob Cocky, Andy Adams. Y'all, this is going to be fun. I am so excited about it. So you will get a chance to come out and shake Latoya's hand. If you live in her, what's your district you're running for?
So it's District 31. So it's primarily Severna Park, Pasadena, Glen Burnie, some parts of Curtis Bay.
Okay, we need all of you from that area to come out. Now, this particular building has 3 levels. It holds a lot of people, so we need you to come out from that area to support Latoya in her race for delegate. Listen, I am excited. I'm looking forward to it. And Latoya, thank you for agreeing to come. I'm glad you're going to be there,
My
and
pleasure.
we're going to have a good time. So it's going to be a What Up Baltimore live. So make sure that you're there. You guys will see the postings and everything. You don't even have to RSVP. You can just come. We'll have the seats there and you'll be able to ask questions. Ask the candidates the questions and shake their hands. And maybe it might be an opportunity for you to also help on their campaign. Who knows? So Thank you so much, Latoya, for coming on. I wish you well in all of your endeavors. You are welcome to come on What Up Baltimore anytime you want to. All you have to do is just, let me know. Let me know. Right now, everybody, we are booked until June. Like everybody's been coming out. So check us out. Monday nights, we're back at it. We are coming strong and we want to educate everybody on running. Now, Van has a question for you. Van said Latoya. She has Latanya. It's
Okay.
it's Latoya Van, but she says, do you know who's running in the 21205 district?
So 21205, I'm not sure, but what you can do is, I'll just say the simplest way to do is go to Google and go to Find My Representatives in Maryland. And if you put in your address, it will give you the list of representatives. It'll tell you your district, but it'll give you more information so that way you know who is currently in office and do further research to find out who's actually running in your district.
Thank you, Van, for your question. Thank you, everybody, for your question. Please make sure you share the video. We had a really bad storm here, so I'm holding the phone. So if you see it falling, the Wi-Fi went out. With the storm knocked it out. So if you see the phone going upside down or me twisting, oh, the lights went out outside too.
Wow.
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm still at work. So Van said, "Oh, no problem, Van." She said, "Apologize."
Yeah.
Trying so fast because I know the show is about to end. No problem. No, you're good. You're good. You're good. So, guys, thank you so much. I am going to see what's going on around here because all of the lights are out now.
All right. Well, you be safe, and thank you again for having me. And
Latoya,
I appreciate
anytime.
the opportunity, and I would love to come back. You let me know when, and I'll be here.
Anytime, like I said, anytime you want to come, the doors are open. Like they say, the doors of the church are open. The doors to What Up Baltimore are open. So you can come anytime you like. And everybody, this is Lady J. Again, this is Latoya Nkongolo. And we thank her for coming on tonight. She's running for Delegate District 31, right?
That's right.
District 31. So if you're watching, make sure you vote for Miss Latoya, okay? And we'll have her back again. And make sure you guys stay tuned. We got another show coming up if the internet works. We have another show coming up. Latoya, be safe out there. I wish you all the best, and I'll see you in May.
I will see you then. Looking forward to it.
All right, take care.
All right,
You're
you take
welcome.
care.
All
Bye.
right, bye-bye.